Night story. One night I stayed home alone. Everyone else had gone to the countryside, but I couldn't go because I had university classes the next day. It was already around 11 p.m., and I just couldn't fall asleep. I tried everything. Watching TV, listening to music. I had like 5 herbal teas, 3 beers, even took a warm shower, but the insomnia was in full swing. So I said, screw it, I'll just start cleaning or something. And there I was at 1 in the morning, blasting Vallenatos by Los Diablitos and scrubbing the house. Going all in like the world was ending. But hey, it worked. The house was spotless. I took another shower and finally went to bed. Just as I was drifting off, I heard someone running through the hallway, from the patio to the living room. Me being a total scaredy cat, threw a sheet over my head. But again the same sound. Thump, 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 thump. Like a kid running. I thought, oh great, can't sleep and now this spooky crap. I got up, turned on the light, opened the door, and noticed the mirror in the living room was out of place. That's when I remembered what my grandma always said. Never leave mirrors facing windows overnight. That's how things get in. I had moved it to clean and left it facing the window to the street. So I grabbed a sheet, threw it over the mirror, covered it with plastic, turned all the lights on, and ran straight back to my room. When I opened the door, I saw a shadow zip past into the bathroom. I ran and turned on the light. I don't know if ghosts fear light, but I turned on every single light, even the flashlight on my grandma's old phone. I laid back down, but just as I closed my eyes, the footsteps came back and forth in the hallway. I was losing it, especially when our cat started crying in the patio. I got more scared than ever, grabbed a stick my dad keeps under the bed, and headed to the front of the house. Checked everything, furniture, kitchen, closets, and that's when I saw the patio door wide open. I figured, must be Lucho, my brother who always forgets his keys, and climbs in through the patio. I went to look for him, turned on the patio light and saw the cat in a corner, hair standing on end, growling angrily. I called her, but she didn't move. I looked everywhere and saw nothing. I shut the door, and just as I was heading back to my room, I saw the floor was muddy. There were footprints, but not just mine. Right beside mine were tiny footprints, like from a miniature person. Not the cat's. They looked human, but very, very small. I don't know if it was a neighbor or what, but I remembered people had been talking about duendes, little goblins, being spotted in the neighborhood. That's when you start remembering all those stories about witches, demons, and whatever else. I jumped into bed and started praying, and praying and praying. I heard something on the roof, a loud thud, and something rolled and fell into the alley next to my window. It was the cat. She crawled in through a crack, jumped into my bed, and curled up against my ribs like she was scared. The little collar I'd put on her was almost torn to pieces. I took it off, laid it on my chest, and started petting her until I finally fell asleep. The next day, I didn't see her anywhere. Around 10 a.m. I was in class, when my brother sent me a photo. Everyone was in the countryside, at my grandparents' house making sancocho. In the picture, my mom was sitting in a chair, and in her lap was the cat. Lucho, whose cat is that? I asked. That's our cat, he said. Mom brought her yesterday. So, who was it that slept next to me that night?